I've got Rebecca Barnard on the phone. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
And you've got a solo show coming up at the Bridge Hotel in Castlemaine.
Yes, this Friday.
Yeah, Friday the 21st, and that's going to be your last show for the year.
Oh, yeah, and if the Maya calendar's right, it'll be the last show ever. So, I'm really going to give it everything I've got.
Oh, that's good. That's why you made sure you had one on that night so you could just get one last show in.
Go out with a bang.
Yeah, why not?
No, it'll be good. I haven't played in Castlemaine for quite a while, so really looking forward to it.
Well, you, of course, used to be in Rebecca's Empire, which was basically your band.
Yeah.
And you gave that up in 2000 because you started having a family.
Yeah. Well, I had one child, a son, who's now nearly 17. So it just, look, there were all sorts of reasons, really. Our second album didn't go as well as our first, and it was very easy to sort of, feel a bit dejected, and just being a mother and dragging him around on tour all the time. I think I just got too tired. But we had a good run.
Well, you've kept going as a solo artist after you had your child, but now that he's 17, are you sort of focusing more on your career again?
Well, I always have, really. It's just a case of, like, the last album I made, I got a grant and I went to New York and did that there. And I sort of have to remove myself from the everyday to really get things done creatively. So that was really good. And now I'm trying to write another record. But, I think, like a lot of musicians, you need your muse. And if it's not there, it's not there.
Well, is your son a musician?
He's a drummer.
Is he your drummer?
No, he's not my drummer. No, but my father was a drummer too. He was a well-known jazz drummer. And Harry, my son, really is taking after. He even looks like him, when he's playing. Quite freaky.
So with everything that you have done in the band and as a solo performer, what's been your most memorable experience?
Gee, that's a hard question. There's lots. I guess making the album in New York in 2010 was definitely a highlight. That was just incredible. We recorded in Tony Bennett's studio in New Jersey, and I got to work with some incredible musicians that, we've got incredible musicians here, of course, but it just, and I think because I was away from home, I could really focus on it. So that definitely is one of the best things I've ever done. And Rebecca's Empire, those days playing at all the festivals, they were always incredible. Like, you'd just walk out on stage and there'd be thousands of people there singing the words. It was very humbling, really.
So you are Rebecca Barnard 754 on Facebook.
Am I?
Yeah, that's how people can find you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Meaning I'm the 754th.
Very possibly.
God, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, but you are facebook.com/Rebecca Barnard 754.
Okay, thanks for that.
That's okay. I just thought I'd help you find yourself.
Yeah, I found myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to India. Although I did go to India this year. That was a highlight of my life.
Yeah.
Not just, not a career highlight, but a life highlight. Yeah, that was extraordinary. I loved it.
Is it different to you to be doing the solo? I suppose nowadays it's not, but back then when you first left the band, was it different doing the solo as compared to the band? Did you feel better or strange or?
No, I felt better really, because I didn't have to be as democratic. You just made all the decisions yourself. That's the hardest thing about being in a band, getting everyone to agree on what step you're going to take and, whether you're going to do this gig or that gig. And there's always someone who doesn't agree. And, I'm one of these people that likes to keep everyone happy, and I don't like conflict. And so being solo, it's all up to me. But having said that, it's a lot more work. Although, no, it's not that much more work. I think it's more work being an independent artist rather than, having a record company, or I don't have anything like that, so I have to generate pretty much all my work, I have to sell myself all the time. I don't have anyone doing that for me, so that's hard.
But then I guess having a record company, you're getting back to that having to please everyone and...
Yeah, true. But you've got a little bit of a machine behind you. But no, this is, and you know, I'm 52 next week, so I'm happy to just be doing it the way I'm doing it. No record company's interested in a 52-year-old woman in Australia.
Well, happy birthday for next week.
Thank you.
As a musician who has had quite a bit of experience in the Australian music industry, what advice would you give to your son about the industry?
Look, to be honest, Cash, it's such a different ball game now that I don't know. I really don't know. I often get asked this question by young people, and all I can say is do what your heart tells you to do and trust your instincts and, you know, and be prepared to work hard for not much monetary reward, and don't expect to be famous. If you're doing it for that, well, you know, you might get there, but it just seems that younger people today, that's their aim. They want to be, we all want to be noticed. We all want people to hear our music if you're making music, but the whole celebrity thing's just got a bit out of control. So, yeah, I'd just say follow your gut and just trust your instincts.
When was your last album released?
2010.
And you're working on another one at the moment?
Yeah.
So this show at Castlemaine on the 21st, are you going to be playing some of the new songs you've written that'll be on the new album?
Yeah, about 3 of them.
So there's going to be some music in there that people probably haven't heard before? Yeah.
We do a couple of old Rebecca's Empire songs and then songs from the two solo albums and, a couple from the new one.
How big is your touring band?
It's 4-piece, including me. It's bass, drums. It's Michael Denelson on bass. He lives in Malden. Simon Dorr on drums. He lives in Bowen Heads. And this time we're using Nigel McLean, the violin player, who's a Castlemaine boy, which is just a fluke, really, that I seem to gravitate to this Castlemaine Malden group. Yes, that's a 4-piece. And Petal and Pet, 2 Castlemaine girls, they're our special guests. They're fantastic. They play sort of old-time country and they yodel and play ukulele, and they're really good. They're really fun.
Well, I did see some pictures of you on your old website, and you do live in the country, do you?
No, I live in Yarraville, but my heart lives in the country.
All right.
My body lives in Melbourne.
Yeah. Yeah, Yarraville's a little bit different to Castlemaine.
Yeah, there's similarities actually, but I mean, Castlemaine, you know, you walk down the street, there's so many people I know who used to live in Melbourne.
Right.
It seems like a little mini Melbourne sometimes.
Well, then, I think from what you said before about following your heart that maybe one day you're going to end up living around that area.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's my aim.
As long as the world doesn't end on the 21st.
Yeah, well, then we don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Well, what time are you on Friday night?
Petal, the doors open at 8:30. Petal and Pet are on at about 8:45, and we'll be on at about 10.
All right, so you'll be finished before the world ends then?
Look, we may be, but we might just keep playing, you know. Like that string quartet on the Titanic as it was sinking, they just kept playing. So we'll do that, we'll keep playing. And
when you're doing a show, do you tell stories? Do you talk about the songs or do you... Yeah, I talk a lot actually. I can't help it. No, well, that's good because that's sort of more of a show than just going and seeing a band or something. Yeah, it is actually. Yeah. We all have a chat. Oh, that's good to know. Crack jokes, just anecdotes, various things. Don't talk about the songs all that much. There's a couple that I talk about. Yeah. Just to give a bit of background. Well, it sounds like a great night. Yeah, hopefully people will come and
we'll do our darndest to entertain the heck out of them.
What is your favourite song of yours at the moment?
Well, actually, I heard one of them on Radio National the other day. It's called Closer to You, which is on the last album called Everlasting. And I hadn't heard that one on radio before, and I was driving along and I was thinking, oh, this sounds really good. So, yeah, Closer to You, that's the one in my head at the moment.
And that is available if people want to go. I guess you're on iTunes?
Yeah, I'm on iTunes and I sell CDs at the gigs too. So you can actually have a touchy-feely experience with it.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me. You've been lovely.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And happy birthday for next week.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.